Hi. So last video I was talking about how I had prayed about whether or not I should speak, um, mainly in the direction of health topics, but a combination of, I guess, mental and physical health, and had this idea of what I wanted to put together. Problem was that one of the topics in particular, I was there was something that I just wasn't quite convinced of. And without that, to an extent, the whole thing didn't fall apart, but it was nowhere near as solid as I felt it needed to be. And I wasn't able to speak about it with quite as much conviction as I felt like I needed to be able to speak. And anyway, so I thought, well, you want me to do this speaking thing, so you better figure it out. So I prayed about it and said, can you please help me to figure out this topic? Please help me to see proof that convinces me enough to be able to have that 100% confidence in presenting it. And anyway, it was probably, I would say, about 10 days later. Um, Definitely no more than 3 weeks, and it was no less than a week. So somewhere in there. Um, I went to church and I was sitting there, and the preacher turned up, and it was funny because one of the first things that he started talking about was the fact that he got there and he had his sermon all prepared, and then they told him that it was a specific day in the calendar of the church there, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and sort of rummaged through, and he had some slides and another sermon that he'd already prepared, ages ago, and he ended up presenting that. And while he was presenting that, it was there was one little section that was like that missing puzzle piece that I needed to put everything together and to convince me of this integral part of my speech. And I just remember sitting there and going, "Oh, wow." You just answered that. In Not only was it an answer, but it was an answer that the pastor hadn't even meant to give me. That happened another time too, but because that particular time involves another person, I probably won't share that at this point in time. But anyway, yeah, so I was thrilled. I was like, wow. um, yeah, and then I could present the topic I needed to present, and I still have it. I'm just kind of trying to tidy it up a little bit, and hopefully one day soonish. Although I have a tendency of complicating things and then narrowing them down again, so it may be a little while. But I will try and share it with you guys as soon as possible. Yeah. So I hope you found that interesting and inspiring, and I will catch you for the third part of that little tiny segment within my positive answers to prayer, because there's one more little bit that's kind of quite closely related. So yeah, see you soon. Bye.